Welcome to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons. I am Laura Simmons. I have with me today Margaret Green,
Hello, how you doing?
Mayor of the
Daenerys,
yeah,
Daenerys.
Mayor. Okay. So how y'all doing today?
Good,
Good.
good. Bless.
I feel like a big old rotisserie chicken right now.
Ooh,
Because it's hot. It's hot. It's hot.
Yeah,
In
it's
South
hot.
Carolina, it's hot.
oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, man, it's
No, you
hot.
didn't say it like that.
I'm
I
sorry.
so did.
I understand when she said South Carolina. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sorry.
How was
Mhm.
y'all weekends? How was
It
y'all
was
weekend?
good.
A holiday
It was
weekend?
good. It was good. I didn't do too much. Kind of chilled.
Ah,
Okay.
well, listen, my body hurt. My body's sore, as a matter of
Oh.
fact. Because we celebrated my mother-in-law's birthday.
Mhm.
We celebrated the holiday. We were celebrating my father-in-law, who has stage 4.
Mm.
Um, and we're just celebrating him while he's still here. So we had the family together, and it was wonderful. It was such a good time. But
Mhm.
anytime you having any gathering, you always whooped the next
Yeah.
day or two.
Yeah,
So in my case, I'm
stressful.
on day 2.
Oh
Wow.
yeah. Cause it seemed like you be working extra hard,
You
you
do.
know, during the holiday. Yeah. Okay. So we cooked on Saturday, and it just I was wore out. I was wore
Mhm.
out. All the cooking and stuff, and I was wore out.
Yep. Yep.
I'm
Same.
like,
Same.
yeah. I'm
Same.
like this.
But
You
I
just
enjoyed it though. But I was wore out. Today. I mean, it was back to reality today, but I'm still sore.
hmm
So,
You know
Hmm.
what you mean. I was just
girl.
saying that earlier. I said we need a 3-day weekend, not just two. Because I said by the time you didn't unwind from Monday through Friday and trying to do that on Saturday, you getting ready to go back to work on that Monday, even though I'm retired. But the point is
Yeah.
still,
Nope, I got you. Amen.
it's
It still
still,
applies. It still applies.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm, because you still got stuff to do,
Yes.
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So so yeah, I want to say a prayer for what is it, Master P, who lost his daughter this
Yeah, I
weekend.
saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, did y'all
What
see the
happened?
clip? Did y'all see the clip before this even happened? When he had on this show, they had some kind of little talk show, and he was talking to his daughter, and he was telling her, different things about, I want to wait until you get yourself together and this and that before you get back out there and stuff like that. And she said she didn't want to get into the acting business. She didn't want to get into the entertainment business at all. Hey, Danielle.
Danielle.
And she said she didn't want to get into the acting business and stuff. So but she was suffering with mental health. Plus, she had an addiction. Sound like she had some kind of addiction, drug
God,
addiction and stuff.
what
Yeah.
happened?
Huh?
I'm
What you
What did she
say?
die
assuming.
from?
I'm assuming. I am assuming because I didn't hear everything. It was just like a little blurb. I'm assuming that she committed suicide.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming too. Yeah.
Wow.
But
God.
they said she was already, going through a bunch of emotional stuff already, and with, like I said, the drugs. Allegedly, they said she was dealing with the drug addiction. Plus, she had mental health that she was dealing with, and it's just so much. It's so much stuff is going on today,
I
people.
tell you what, it just angers me every time I hear about another young person and took their lives, and how quick people don't realize what we're dealing with and what we're up against in this world right now. It's really, we truly are in a battle. We really are in a battle for the souls of these young people. And if we don't open our eyes and wake up and see that that is what it is because what people can either believe in the devil or they don't, but truly that is what we're dealing with. You're dealing with spiritual warfare, and a lot of them he's attaching himself to these young people that are not equipped and prepared to fight him. And that's the problem. And people don't want to believe that. I don't believe in that. You don't have to believe in it, but you will believe it when you see it and experience it for yourself. And that is what's happening with a lot of these young. Every time I look around, it's somebody young that then committed suicide or hurt themselves or tried to hurt themselves or hurt a family member because that family member was trying to save them. And it's sad. It's just sad. It's like every time I look around, you're hearing about somebody. And that's why it doesn't matter how much money you have. It still can hit your household.
Amen.
It can still hit your household.
Amen. I concur. I concur with you on the spiritual warfare. I've been saying that for a while. That's exactly what we all are in, actually.
We are.
We have, it is a lot of our young people. A lot of our young people. But I mean, it's everybody.
I know.
Everybody. We turn around. I mean, young, old, it don't matter. But it just hits different because when we hear about the younger generation, then it hits a little different.
Yeah, because their lives are just beginning.
Their lives are just beginning. Gosh. And it is a spiritual. I agree with you wholeheartedly. You hit it right on the head right there for sure.
I mean, it's just so sad. I mean, a lot of people think about when you think back when we were growing up, when we were kids, you heard it every once in a while, but you didn't hear it like you hear it now.
No,
with young people taking their lives, you just did not hear it.
Amen.
And not only that, you had them grandmothers and them old mothers, church mothers, and different ones who didn't play. When they recognize something, they will say something and they will deal with it right head on. They didn't sit up there and play around and try to figure it. No, they knew what they was dealing with and they dealt with it accordingly. We're getting to the point where we're afraid to tell people and let the devil know that he's the devil and let him and point him out. And Jesus told him Jesus called the devil a devil, so why we can't do it? Yeah. It's so hard. We are in so close to the end of this ridiculous. And some people just, like I said, I don't believe in that. You don't have to believe in it. I'll tell you, like my pastor used to say. My pastor say all the time. He said, you don't have to believe in hell until you get there. He said, you don't have to believe it. He said, when you get
believe
there,
in hell,
you'll know.
And listen, and the devil know about the Bible.
Yes, he does. Because he was in there first.
Yeah,
he was in heaven first.
Hello.
Yep.
He was in heaven first.
What was the name of that book you mentioned one day, Margaret?
Divine Revelation of Hell. That book, if people read that book, they would be like, gosh, because when you read it, you would feel like you actually are experiencing what that lady experienced. I mean, when you read it, you'll feel like, yeah, she really went through this. She really went through this, So it's because way she talked about the people that she saw, young and old, that she saw in hell, and some and the ones that she saw in heaven. It's I'm telling you, it's serious. It is serious, and so many of us don't truly. But some of us say, well, "Oh, I believe." Yeah, but your actions don't. Don't tell me that you do. We got to understand that if there's two things to everything, there's a hell, there's a heaven. There's a right, there's a wrong. There's a up, there's a down. So if you say you don't believe in hell, then guess what? You missing the part of the equation, because guess what? You got two to everything.
Yep.
Up and down, front and back, left and right, everything. So there has to be a hell, because that's the other equation to the good and the bad. And so that's when we have to understand. It's too many of them. Too many of these young people. It's like they just.
Yeah,
there's
a lot of factors. There's a lot of factors. Because everybody don't have a traditional household. Like you said, social media. I believe you just said that. When we talk about, having younger parents and how their upbringing is, because these young parents trying to, something. I'm not saying all of
Some
them.
of them,
They hanging with them. They together.
That's
they
it.
They teaching them and they showing them everything that's wrong.
And some of them talking about, I ain't gonna do like my grandmama or my mama taught me. You better go back to the things of old, because there was a reason for that. You survived.
And all the things that they took out the school, and back in the day, like you kind of touched on a little bit. Back in the day, it was it takes a village. Now people like.
They step back because they're scared. One thing is they're scared. That's why, because they don't know the repercussions that's going to come behind it. Because so they just step back and they don't step in like they did back in the day.
Because it started at home.
Yep. So if mama and daddy ain't saying nothing, guess what? They not gonna jump in there.
Or you see the ones who got the parent come up to the school ready to fight the teacher.
Oh yeah.
So you already
you showing that right.
Yeah.
You're showing them how to be disrespectful. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of factors. It's very sad, but I think first and foremost, it's definitely spiritual. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's heart-wrenching, it's scary, it's devastating, it's so many things, like she said. I remember just watching something on television. It might have been like a year or so ago on the news. I'm like, I don't know them or anything. Sometimes we become numb, but sometimes stuff just hits you. And I'm like, oh my God, you would have thought it was my kid. You would have thought it was my kid. I mean, I had a breakdown. I was just so hurt. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. So,
like the time I had saw where this lady had, unfortunately, she had in Walmart, she had her little boy and she had a gun in her pocketbook, and she had her pocketbook in the shopping cart with her. This was probably about a year or two ago, and unfortunately, she had her son in the shopping cart with. Well, he pulled the gun out. He took the gun out of her purse and shot her.
Wow.
And she I know she didn't know what hit him, because he couldn't have been no more than at least 3 years old. So he don't even know what he just did.
No, because he don't know. But
you're not realizing that you got this gun in your purse and you forget and put it in the back, and kids are nosy.
Yep.
So they had.
You heard about the one today? Did you hear about the young lady it was over the weekend? Well, her mom and another lady got the fighting, and the mom passed the bag to the 10-year-old. The 10-year-old went in the bag, got the gun out, and shot the lady. And the lady died when she got to the hospital. But the mom and the daughter is now in jail.
Oh my God.
But the daughter, she's under DCFS care right now, but the mom is facing some a bunch.
Because that's child neglect and child abuse.
Yeah,
you put that child. That's what I'm telling you. It's so much stuff.
I understand where some people have guns for protection, but I also believe in you taking the right measures, you taking the class, you being mentally stable enough to be able to handle it responsibly in certain situations. You have to be mentally stable. Right now, 90% of us ain't stable.
Especially now, it seems like just crazy stuff. You can be driving down the road and you just driving a little too slow and somebody busting out.
Oh yeah, and they get mad,
blowing a horn and throwing their finger.
You can look at somebody, you can have a crook in your neck, and they think you're looking at them all. 90% of us not stable.
It's like I said, my Lord, I said this pandemic then brought a whole bunch out of fools, out of people who already was not.
But it was already there.
Right. It brought fools out, and then it also brought stuff out that was dormant.
And stuff that we knew, but we couldn't quite put our hand on it until the pandemic happened, and until certain person was in office. Then all of a sudden you start seeing all kind of racism and all kind of foolishness going on against people for no reason. And so it was like you already knew, you had an idea, but you wasn't sure, and then they just showed it. Like, that's me. So
no, they didn't say it like that.
in a way, I two things. That's like, you know, in a way, I'm glad you showing who you really are.
Exactly.
The
That's
ones
what my
that don't
husband said.
that kind of be hiding,
Said,
you know, be
he
sitting
said,
back,
rather
you know, throwing it and then be like, what? So I'm glad you're showing me who you are. But at the same time, I'm gonna need you to be able to control. I need you to be able to control that, because you still can't treat and do anything and think
you want to,
nobody's supposed to, nothing gonna happen.
People ain't gonna be putting up with that foolishness.
No, you run up on the wrong ones, and it's a wrap.
Some people get knocked out on Facebook and on YouTube.
and I ain't mad about it.
You know, you like she do that. What was that deep? What that boy said to Debo? You got knocked down.
Yeah.
Like, you already got teeth loose. You probably better get them all knocked out now.
Yeah.
Like, no,
it's a lot of them. I was telling y'all about what happened to me that day when I was in the store and the lady trying to start an argument. I said, I know exactly what she trying to do, and that's why I just ignored. I said, I'm not getting. You're not finna.
Yeah, some are trying to draw you in. They're trying to draw you in.
Just like what's his name? Angela Bassett's husband said. He said when he recognized that, he was like, he said, no, we worked too hard for this. We worked too hard. He said, I know what she's trying to do. He said, ignore her. He told his wife, ignore her.
Yeah.
Because she was trying to provoke Angela. And he was like, no, ignore it. He said, I know what she's trying to do. Yeah. You know, and I'm like, yeah, she's trying to get some money.
Yeah.
So she wanted to get a confrontation.
Right.
Yeah. But okay, so with that being said, about all the things that's happening right now, you also hearing a lot about losses, people losing loved ones and stuff. And the biggest thing is people don't really know how to cope with it.
No,
you got a lot of people that don't know how to cope with grieving, and loss could be anything. It could be you lost a pet, you lost your job, because when you lose a job, the same thing happens.
Yeah,
you grieve for that because you trying to figure out why this happened to me. So there, as I was reading up on loss and the different stages of grieving and stuff, and it was just really very interesting. And it talks about the different phases that people go through when they lose either a loved one, or they lose a job, or they lose an animal or whatever, because a lot of people consider their pets as their family.
They do, and some of them act like it too, boy.
Yeah,
I've seen some of them. I've seen some of them on Facebook. I'm telling you, I've seen some situations, and I'll be like, "What?" And because the animals look at the people like, "Yeah, them kids." This one, the dog was watching TV on his couch. I kid y'all not. And she took and changed the channel. That dog turned to look at her like,
so you lost your man.
No, you didn't turn that shit. I cracked up laughing when I saw that. I said, you mean to tell me? I mean, he's sitting up on the couch like he watching TV. He's sitting there like a regular human being. And then they had another video with it. One of them little dogs, the ones that look like a wolf, that a lot of people like. I can't remember the name of those dogs, but they're real smart. Those it was a video somebody had where there was two huskies. They sitting up there. One had his arm around the other one. I kid you. and the doorbell rang. Because they were looking at this, I guess something on the laptop. The dog closed the thing and went and answered the door. I said, wait a minute. But it was a video. It was an actual video of inside this person's house, and the dog opened the door. They said them dogs are very smart, and they said he actually opened the door when the guy put whatever he can put in. So I guess he got ready to try to look in, and the dog kicked the door closed, and the guy something flew. Because I guess the dog realized he was trying to do something he had no business, so he kicked the door closed. I said, he won't try to be nosy in whoever house that was. But yeah, I said, I understand some people do treat their animals like they call them their kids.
Yeah, I got a grand dog.
You got a grand dog?
I got a grand dog, so yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch my my father-in-law how he
treat him
used
like
to
not a
feed
baby,
his right. He used to feed his dog ice cream and stuff. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
wow, I didn't even know you could give dogs ice cream. He said, yeah,
Yeah.
you can give dogs ice cream.
Girl,
And
Jordan,
this dog
they
eating.
give him Gouda cheese. I'm like, Gouda cheese, really? Y'all
Oh,
doing
Straight win. He gonna be good. Y'all gonna be good out that house.
right. He eating real good. I'm like, well, y'all know that's not a baby. He got polos. He got boots in the wintertime. I was like, that's not a baby. Y'all know that, right? It's not.
But there's a lot of people like that, and that's
Yeah.
they call them their fur babies.
That's
And when they lose them, they grieve just like they
Yeah.
grieve for a human being.
And you got some who will give up their boyfriend or girlfriend for their pet. If that person don't like animals.
Yeah, I heard one of them celebrities say that they were saying that they gave up their girlfriend because she didn't like dogs or something, and it was
They do. They
I'm
will
like,
give them up.
wow. Well, I guess I'm just lucky that I have a mate that don't do dogs because I don't.
My
do
husband
dogs.
like dogs, but I'm like, no, we ain't having no more dogs no more. We ain't getting no more dogs.
Well,
Last one we
I
had,
do. My
stole it.
husband wants a dog when he retires, and I'm okay with it as long as I know big vicious dog.
Yeah.
I like dogs. I don't love them.
Right.
I like them, so I figure if we
can
get
tolerate it.
one where they're small and we can, because a lot of times your
long as
pet
it's small
acts
and-
like you.
Yeah, they do.
When they get used to you, they act like how just like your kids. Eventually, they start acting like you. So we need to get them so we can mold them so he could, fit right on in.
But I'm telling you, they are smart now. You got some real good. You got some boxers are smart because I had one of them boxers.
Yeah,
that dog was smart.
Yeah.
We end up letting them. We end up giving them away to somebody out in the country because he kept on getting out the yard, going on him a little safari in the neighborhood.
He like, what's up, y'all?
Every time we come home,
because they need a lot of room. They very active,
and we was trying to figure out how he was getting out. The little dude, I was like, how is this dog getting out? And we didn't know he was getting out until one day we got home from work a little earlier than than he expected us to.
Yeah,
and we caught him out the yard. He's sitting in.
He was like one of them dogs that you were just talking about. He opened the door with his paw.
He's like, what's up, y'all? I'm out.
Yeah. I told him,
he's throwing his hands, he's throwing his paws up in there, talking about what's up, y'all? It's time to party.
I told him, I said, that's all right. I said, Troy gonna get you. That dog looked at me like he was crazy. He just put up one eyebrow, put his paw over his face, and took a deep breath.
Oh,
he did not. He did. And so soon when Troy went to the door, he took off running down the street. My husband was like, "Look here, I'm done. I'm done. I'm gonna give him away. Yeah, I can't be running up and down the street for this dog."
Right.
I said, "Nobody tell you to get one in the first place. I didn't want no dog. You the one wanted the dog."
Now my son had that. He had a pit, one of them pit bulls. I was scared of that sucker, but he was not. She was just really. She was real aggressive. She would like when you come over there, she want to play, but I ain't with the playing because first of all, I'm not a dog person.
All they do is taste your blood.
I don't deal with dogs. I remember growing up when I was little, we had a dog, and that dog turned on me while I was walking her, and I ain't never liked dogs since. I don't mess with them.
Yeah. I still like them. I've been bitten 3 times.
Oh, really?
I still like them, but like I said, they got to be mine. Because when I go to clients' houses and stuff, or friends' house, like, what kind of dog can you please put your dog up? I ain't gonna be here nothing but a few, minutes. I promise I'll make it quick. But I need you to please put your dog up during my visit. It'll be a short visit, but I need you to put the dog up. I mean, because sometimes it could be distractive too, when you're trying to transact, business, But
I just recently I was supposed to go to this lady's house because she was gonna do my braids, but I didn't know that she was her shop was in her house, and so she didn't tell me that she had a dog. And so because she didn't tell me that she had a dog, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to cancel that appointment. I said, because I don't do dogs. And she was like, not even a little dog. He's a little dog. He's well trained and stuff. I said, I don't care. He got teeth.
But you know
what? Bite, and I ain't coming.
People say that. You know, and like I said, I'm okay with, you know, some dogs, but it depends on how the dog reacts. But as far as business, I ain't doing it. I'm just not. But my friends and stuff, and I know they got dogs, they already know, some of them know, but like, oh, let me put the dog up. Here she go. But like, yeah, because you know I ain't coming in.
Yeah, I don't go in nobody. I ain't going in nobody's house, and that's what. And she got mad at me because I said, well, you know what? When you get your clients and stuff before you sign and they pay or put their deposit down, or
You
anything,
should disclose that.
you should be letting them know that ahead of time. I said because not everybody is a dog person. I said, and
No.
I'm one of those people that I don't do no
Yeah,
dogs. I'm not coming in your house
and
if
some
you
of
got
them
a
dogs are
dog.
smart enough to open them doors.
Yeah,
Well,
she talking about,
listen,
well, I would put him in a cage and this and that. I said, no, I'm not gonna come. I said
I
because I
had
don't
a
do
dog
dogs,
that was
period.
very aggressive with me, and oh, he's friendly. I'm like, okay, well, this dog is growling and showing me his teeth, like he ready to eat me alive. I will not come in. Let you could put him up, or we're gonna have to reschedule. And that,
Yeah.
I mean, that dog was really, and they trying to hold. I was like, no, no, he's normally, he just needs to get you. He don't need to get used to me.
No, you ain't gonna get
Yeah.
used to my leg or my arm. No. You
Yeah,
can make pork
no,
chops out of me.
Yep.
yeah,
That's how my son's dog was. She would jump up. They say, oh, she only a baby. I'm like, oh, but she was heavy. So she could
she
push
right.
you. She could
Yeah,
push you and stuff. She was that heavy and
And
stuff.
them pit
I'm like,
bulls,
oh
they go
no.
for your neck. They don't play. They go
I
for your
said, no,
neck.
we not gonna do
yeah.
that one.
It's
And
a
my
firm
Them,
no for me.
yeah, and my
them, and
grandbabies had a habit
the
of trying to ride
Rottweilers.
on her, tried to ride her like she was a horse. And so she was, them little girls, I'm telling you, my granddaughters will give you the business. When you finish with them, I promise you, you gonna be standing up ready to go to sleep.
Okay.
Them two little girls. Well, now the third one, my grandson. Oh my goodness, he done joined the group now. When them
Girl.
three get busy, oh, it's over with. By the time when
Ooh.
they finally leave and stuff, I'm like this.
He's like, I'm tired. Yeah.
I can't even keep my eyes open. I'm like, boy, they be busy.
I don't have none of them yet.
So she used the oldest one used to have a habit of trying to get on the dog's back like it's a horse or something. And she'd like gnawing, snapping back at her. I'm like, oh no, see, I don't like that. And she
Yeah.
just laughing.
Yeah.
But because they kids, they don't know no better. They don't
Yeah.
know what kind of
Yeah.
harm they could cause or whatever the case
Yeah,
may be.
because
But
they can't turn on you.
right. And that's why I was like, oh no, y'all, that's not good to have that dog around them. It's like, oh, but they're more protective for kids than any other dog. They them and shepherds are supposed to be
I love
protect.
German Shepherds. I had a German Shepherd as a small kid.
Mm-hmm.
My husband said, no, he don't want no German Shepherd. That's too much hair. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, them. I
No.
don't like none of them. One day I was came in home from work, and backing up into my yard. No, I was already in the yard, and I happened to look up, and this dog come walking down the street. I said to myself, "Ooh, I'm glad I'm close to. I'm in the yard, good little distance from the street." And that's because he's walking like he know where he going, but I'm
Right.
like, just don't look this way. Just
Right.
don't look over here, because I don't want to become part of your of who you looking for. So just
Right.
keep
Right.
straight, just keep going the way you going. Because I'm like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have been up on top of my car if I had to. I knew I would have been up on top of it.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So I had been reading like different little Facebook postings where you hear people talking about they lost a dog or they lost a parent or they lost some kind of loved one. And that's the reason why I was thinking about coping, how to cope with loss. That was one of the reasons why I decided that I wanted to talk about that today, because a lot of people, we sometimes we're in denial when we lose a loved one, we lose or your puppy or whatever the case may be, whatever it may be, we sometimes we be in denial. And we have a tendency sometimes because if one of the things that happen is the shock and you
Yeah.
feel numb.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
because you trying to process the whole thing of why
right.
and what just happened and what you
Yeah.
could have did to prevent it.
Yep.
And there's
Yep.
nothing you can do to prevent it.
And then the beginning of it is a denial thing. You go
Mm-hmm.
through that denial thing where you put you in your mind, and this happened to me. This actually happened to me with the denial thing, because I remember when I lost my mom, I was in denial. I thought that in my mind I was thinking she was coming back. you know I thought she was coming back. I'm thinking that in my mind, I thought she was on a
Mm-hmm.
vacation. She's just
Mm-hmm.
on a vacation and she'll be back. And the hardest thing that a lot of us, there are so many things that we can actually do to get help, and a lot of people won't get help, especially in the Black community. We don't believe in therapists and psychiatrists, and we don't believe in that kind of stuff. Because that's the way we were raised. That
Mm-hmm.
that make you crazy. No, that does not make you crazy. It helps you cope with what you're dealing with.
Depends on who
Yeah.
you get. So, it depends on who you get. Because you get one of them therapists and they got issues too, you in trouble.
Oh, like the one I had. I had a therapist when I was going through the loss of my mom, and I never forget. I know more about her than she knew about me. It was supposed to be my session, but it seemed like I was
You was her
um,
therapist.
her
Mm-hmm.
therapist. Yeah, she telling me all about her kid, her family and stuff, and what happened with her and all this other stuff. And I'm saying to myself, okay, and I'm gonna
It's like,
and
give me back my money.
yeah, exactly.
Where's my money, sucker?
Right.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, but yeah, you're right. You have to make sure that you do your research on them, and sometimes it don't even help to even do research
No.
on it. Sometimes you could do research on somebody and they'll tell you all kinds of stuff about
Yep.
that therapist, and then when you get that therapist is nothing like what they
They
say on their
said.
thing.
Yeah,
So
it's like looking for a doctor. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
like, I can't. Oh, this doctor didn't work out. Oh my God, I don't like, or a hairstylist or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like trial and error,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, that's
Unfortunately,
true. Because you got to, because it's got to be somebody that you jive with. Because
yeah,
if you and them chemistry and ain't good, you can forget it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can
I
forget it
agree.
because
I
you
agree.
automatically be like, oh no, you didn't.
yeah.
And how many years has it been, Laura?
Um,
Yesterday, no.
No, her mom,
Oh no, yeah, that's been
lost.
what 11 years.
yeah.
No,
No, 12.
Okay,
It's been about
yeah,
12.
12.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
No,
No, it's been longer than
about
that.
16.
What year
This
was
this
it?
is this is 2022. It was 2006.
Oh,
Okay,
okay. Okay. So yeah, you're
okay.
right.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Linda.
Good evening, Linda.
Good evening. But yeah,
Yeah, for
it's
me, I lost my mom when I was 10.
mm,
I lost
Wow.
my mother when I
wow.
was 10, and um I really did not comprehend
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
at that time. I did not comprehend that at all.
Were you the
And
only child?
huh?
Were you the only child?
No, I'm the youngest.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I'm the youngest. Never knew my father. And I it was like a blank. It was
Yeah.
like a blank space for me for many years. And my mother died on Mother's Day.
Wow.
Wow.
And I did not realize, and it didn't hit me until, I would say, probably about 10 years ago. I would be depressed every Mother's Day or around that time, during that time period.
Mm-hmm.
I could not figure out what was wrong with me, what was going on during that time. I feel like, you know, when you suffer a loss, when all that stuff kind of like hits you and you see your friends and your family and everybody else, you know, with their mothers and having conversations with their mothers and
or having a
I don't know what
disagreement.
that, I can't understand that. I don't know what that feels like. I don't know what it feels like to, you know, talk to my mother as a teenager and, you know, issues as an adult and my kids. So when I had my first kid, I was like, I don't know what to do, what to expect.
So did your sisters help you, or yeah?
So I have one sister, and that's a whole nother show.
Okay.
But we're good now.
Okay.
We're good now. But you know, I'm trying to make this short as possible, but everybody got a story to tell, right? I got many. Everybody got a story to tell. Everybody have been through some things in their life. And for me, I just really didn't have a whole lot. But what I will say, when we go back to spiritual, I do believe that my mama was a praying mother. My mother was an ordained minister that I found out. I didn't even realize that she was an ordained minister. I do believe that I had a praying mother that already spoke things into my life that had me covered, where I'm still right here now today, and the things that I have. I do believe that. I do believe that I had a praying grandmother, you know, 'cause my grandmother passed when I was 16. I do believe that she already spoke some things into my life that got me here, because I could have been a many of things without guidance and all of that. I could have been a many of things.
Yeah. That covering is very important, whether people realize it or not. That covering is important.
Yeah.
You know,
but loss is something that I'm 53. I'll be 54. That's something you never get over. You never get over. And it's just little things here and there, just kind of, you know, you just like when people say they don't remember stuff and then stuff just gradually start coming back. I'm like, man, and it's just really, really sad. And when people, I hear,
then you know why. Then that's when you know why you forgot about it, because you didn't, because you know how it made you feel.
And when I hear people say negative things, oh, I hate my mother, and please don't say that. Please don't say that around me, please. Because you only get one. I promise you.
You only get one. That's right. And when she's gone, you can't replace her.
But guess what? And none of us are perfect. None of us. I mean, we all, and I'm sure your mom is doing the best that she know how and relate. I mean, you please don't, because you will miss everything about that. Even the stuff when she get on your nerves. Trust me, you gonna miss it. You're gonna miss it. So I just, you know, I always, you know, some of my friends, I'm like, hey, don't do that. Don't say that. Don't do that. I promise you, you'll regret it.
Yeah, because they'd be the first one to, but you just don't know. Nope, you don't know. That's why
you don't know. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know, what I have experienced and experience on, you know, a daily basis. That's just something that you never ever get over. When people say, "Oh well, you know, oh, it's been that long." Oh well, you should be over that. And I'm just saying my mom, but you know, anything, you know, people be like, "Oh well, it's been 2-3 years. You should be." Don't put no time limit on me. Don't put no time limit on me. Because we all are our own person and individual, and we heal and we, you know, we hurt differently, and all. Don't do that.
It's just like when people lose spouses, husbands lose wives lose husbands.
Yes.
And especially if they had a good relationship, that is one of the hardest things I can own. I don't ever want to have to experience that.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things that you see when you see people going through it, and you be thinking like it's got to be hard, because you're sharing space with somebody.
Yeah.
And then for that space to be voided, just, and especially when it's unexpected. In some cases, you know, even if you know it's going to happen, it's still ain't. You still can't deal with it, because it's like, you know, I just wanted extra time. You know.
Yeah, we know that death is a part of life. We know that. That's something that you just still cannot get used to. Like, you know, that's. I mean, you just don't get used to that. And to piggyback on what you said about even your spouses. You will hear like, some people will perish because they're so hurt and devastated from the loss of their loved ones, and you'll see where they just shortly pass right after them.
Yeah, that happened to a couple here.
Yeah, a lot. I hear that a lot.
Yeah, they say also that people, like, say for instance, a loved one is on their deathbed and they're getting ready to pass over or whatever the case may be. They said sometimes people have a tendency of bargaining, and when they say bargaining, they mean by people go and they start praying to God and they start saying, God, if you let you can heal this person, I'll be a better person, or I'll change. And that's what they consider bargaining. Now you're trying to bargain with God about this person not leaving here or whatever. So I'm gonna be a better person. I promise to do better. I'm not gonna drink anymore, no more. I'm not gonna smoke
some
anymore.
of them go right back in,
and they go back to doing it. And they said that's like people that try to bargain with God, and you can't bargain with God because once that date is on that little piece of paper, because we all
already preordained.
We all on that list already.
Yeah,
it is what it is. There's nothing we
unfortunately
can do about
but
it.
I'm gonna be here till I'm 104. We already talked about it. I already got a number.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, in my right mind and in good health.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've seen some people who are in their 80s and 90s and they're doing extremely well, and you'd be like, "Dang!"
I know, you just be amazed, like,
sharp,
oh,
on point.
Yes.
But I also have seen them, the older ones. Some of them, they seem like they just take on a cussing spirit when they get old. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you should have seen that video with that lady. She was telling her, it was something, they was talking to her about something, and she just went off. She went in on the girl. The lady said, Grandmama, Mama. She said,
I think I seen
don't mama me. She said, I ain't the one you want to be talking to like this. I'm a straight up gangster. And they said she was 97 years old. I'm like, man.
Yep, they be honest, brutally honest.
The older you get, the more you just who you are. You just honest. Settled into yourself. You just brutally, like you said, brutally honest.
And that's why they say that's why little kids and old people get along so well.
Yeah.
Because little kids will tell you off.
Yes.
and you about to beat their behind, but they told you the truth.
Yeah, that is true.
I remember my son when he was little. I remember he told me, he said, Mom, why you wear that lipstick stuff? I don't like that stuff. That's some nasty stuff. I was like, wait till you get older. We'll see what you be saying when them little girls be coming after you. I got lipstick on.
I got mad at my son for two things. One, he had pointed out hair on my chin out in public. I was so mad at him. I was like, it's right there. And I was like, if you don't shut now I'm all self-conscious. So I'm like this. Look, you ain't got no tweezers or nothing with you. So I'm just like, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna kill you.
That's the worst time they catch you out in public and ask you questions about something.
Or ask you a question about somebody in public.
That you've been talking about or something, and they said,
"That's the one you were talking about."
Remember you said she had a rock booty or something. That's why you gotta be careful what you say around them.
They're gonna do it. They're gonna embarrass you at the wrong time. And you sit up there going, "What? I ain't tell you that. Go on, get somewhere and sit down."
Like, I was so mad at that little boy. Ooh, Lord.
Yeah, and this is another thing they said to avoid rescuing and fixing. Because sometimes people have a tendency to say to people that's grieving, they usually say to the person who is grieving, they don't need fixing. First of all, they're not looking for fixing. So you shouldn't be trying. They saying you shouldn't be attempting to be and they understand you trying to help them out, you trying to make them uplift them and stuff like that. But they say you got to be careful with that. You got to be careful with trying to uplift them, be hopeful comments and humor, trying to ease the pain. And they said because sometimes they feel like when people do that kind of stuff, they feel like you're trying to make it look like it's not there was
making
that
light
they
of
know.
it.
Right, make it look like they never lost anyone, you know. And so they said don't basically patronize them like that, you know.
But I've learned that sometimes just you being there is comforting. You don't necessarily always have to say anything. Because sometimes what you meant or what you're trying to do, just as you kind of stated, people take it the wrong way because they're not in the right mind to receive what it is that you're trying to do. So it will backfire. And I also learned that don't say, "Oh, I know how you feel."
Yeah.
Oh, I know how you feel, because you don't. You're not me. You're not me. You can't. Are you inside of me? Right. So I don't say.
I think the thing for me with grief and with loss, for me, when for a long time, and still even to this day, I still don't like going to funerals because it takes me back to the loss of my mom, to the loss of my sisters, my dad. It takes me back to everything, and it just comes back flooding, and I get the worst headache. And I say, so I don't like going to funerals at all. When people have funerals at my church, I maybe you'll go every now and then, but I just don't. I just don't like, because it takes you, because you're seeing these people crying and grieving, and you thinking back on what you went through.
Yeah.
And it puts everything right back front and center.
Same. I don't go. So, I mean, I occasionally go. It depends on who it is, but I sit in the back and I do not view bodies. I do not view bodies. So I'm usually at that back where I can sign that book, so I can pay my respects. I'm dipping. Yeah. I don't care for funerals either, and it all depends on who the individuals are.
But I think the worst ones is when you hear about children and they're losing their parent and they're young, like you were at 10. I think that's the hardest and the worst thing you can see, because you're thinking, you hoping that they have somebody that's going to cover them like their parent would have. Some people will pick up the mantle and carry on, and they'll do like they're supposed to and they should for that child, but not everybody. Some people are in it for money, and some people are in it, for all the wrong reasons. And sometimes that child suffered because of it, or sometimes kids end up in the system because nobody took them on and took care of them. And I think that's the hardest thing when I hear about people, just like when COVID hit and so many parents, mothers and fathers were dying and leaving behind 2 and 3 kids and infants and babies that mothers had just given birth, and they died because they had COVID, but their family, so they were left with the father. And I'm like, imagine. I'm like, I said, you just can't. You just like, it's hard, for that child never to even they saw her, but didn't really realize until,
Yeah. And a lot of people during COVID, people lost multiple.
Yeah, generations.
Oh, yeah. Family members.
You had people who not only lost mom and daddy, but some of them lost grandmom and grandfathers.
I mean, it was just crazy, just back to back to back. And I'm like, and like you said, I mean, and they had to be alone. You couldn't go to the funerals. You couldn't do anything. Yeah, that was horrifying.
But that's the reason why these people that's walking around without their mask now, they walking around in the stores and stuff, like COVID is gone. COVID is not gone. It's still out there, and the numbers are still going up. And people walking around with like it's nothing to it, and then they look at you like you crazy because you got a mask on.
And I look right back at them.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
like,
did I
got my mask
did I miss the news that COVID was announced that it's over or something? That you looking at me crazy and stuff? Because guess what? I'm gonna put on my mask no matter what. You know.
Yeah.
Because I already panic when I hear somebody cough. I'm turning around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everybody.
You be wanting to do the Will Smith on the.
But you know what? I mean, I'm fully vaccinated. However,
me too. But I still with my mask.
I do feel. I mean, I wear my mask anywhere, like when I go to my clients' homes and stuff, and when I'm going in the stores, I wear my my mask. But I also feel like, it's gonna be like the new and improved flu.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the new and improved flu, because if y'all think about it, we done had the bird flu, the swine flu, the Asian flu, the this flu, the that flu.
They got monkey something out here.
Yeah, I heard about it. It's a monkey pox.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
But y'all know, but if y'all read Revelations, it tell you about the different things that's going to happen and stuff. And
stuff is unfolding right before our eyes.
Exactly. So in Revelations, it tell you about all this stuff.
Yeah, girl. Most folks don't want to read it because, it is scary. It is scary. But I don't want to read that. Shoot.
It's like, I was like, yeah. It's like, you don't want to read it? You better read it because it's coming. It's already happening.
It's already. But I'm scared.
And people having dreams about stuff and all kind of stuff. It's like,
I still wear my mask, and they can look at me crazy all they want. I don't care. I know that's right.
I don't care either. I feel you. I feel you.
Look, to each his own. You do you, and I'm gonna do me, and I'm gonna wear mask.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like, it's like people walking around here coughing and carrying on. And then you got the ones who be sitting up there thinking it's funny. And I said, and I'm like, just stay your distance.
Yeah, and that's why when I be seeing those little commercials, them little videos where they be showing them doing them little what they call it, the little pranks, and stuff, and then they had that little spray bottle and they sneeze and they spray, or you would get yourself
that's when I get something get hurt.
Yeah, I'm not finna incriminate myself right now, because I was gonna say what happened, but I'm not. I ain't finna do it. I ain't finna do it.
Somebody be missing a tooth, a few of them.
Yeah, and they be playing these pranks and stuff, and they pretend like they sneeze.
They sneeze and they spray you.
Yeah, they sprayed this stuff. And one guy went off in the store. He said, man, you don't do no essays like that. He was gonna beat that guy up. And the guy started telling him, he said it was a prank. It was a prank.
You gonna learn.
That's the thing. You doing this to people who aren't aware, and they don't know, and they about to beat your behind down.
Yeah, because
everybody ain't for them pranks and ain't for them jokes.
Yeah. Too many people have lost their life to this stuff, and
and then you got those who have lost loved ones, and you playing these games. No, it's like, don't do that. I said that's a no.
So I did put into the comments the national hotline for those who may be going through depression, because depression is a part of it as well.
It is big time, because you be thinking. I think most of the time, because you be thinking you're all alone and nobody understands what you're going through, but there's always somebody else that's going through the same thing you are, or worse. So it's just, you just got to reach out to that person, reach out to somebody, and just talk. And sometimes all they want to do is talk. They just want to talk it out and get it off their chest. And
then you have some that don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So they said don't pressure them into talking to you about it, because they don't want to talk.
Yeah, they don't want to talk, and sometimes people don't want to be judged.
No,
people don't want to be judged. Because they feel like as you stated earlier, because our culture, we were brought up that you don't talk about or stuff. You just pray about it. And God put people in place to be able to help you. But and actually, I was one of them. They crazy. Oh, they bipolar. Oh, but
Mm-hmm.
baby, I learned my lesson that mental health is real.
Mm-hmm.
I learned my lesson, and to be honest, I really believe. I wasn't joking when I said 90% of us got issues. Probably all of us got issues, but I
Mm-hmm.
believe our culture as a whole has mental health issues. If we think about all the things that we've endured through all the years and all of that stuff, that's a whole nother story. But I'm just saying, we have stuff that has been in us and passed down, and because we hold so much in and we don't release or say
we don't express it.
we don't express it, and we don't want to be
You
judged.
know, and see back in the day when we used to have issues and stuff, and you have a disagreement with somebody, you fight it out, get it off your chest.
Oh yeah.
Now you can't do that because you're afraid the person will come back with you, want to shoot you.
Yeah, they gonna come back, shoot your whole household up and everybody.
Yeah, it's like, man, you can't even tell them how you feel about it. Oh, I got something for you.
For you, I'll be back.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So it's like you just
that's true.
Keep it to
in
yourself.
The stores, the same thing.
Like,
in the stores, you gotta be careful.
Let me get my food and let me get on out the stove. That's it.
Yeah. You got to be careful what you say to people in the store because you don't know what they may have on them.
That's one good thing about the mask. They can't see how your face really looks.
No, they can't.
Man,
no.
People have put stuff on Facebook though with these masks, and they were talking about how people when the mask is coming off, and you start seeing real people.
No teeth, missing teeth and stuff.
Yeah,
some of them looking like the Joker.
But one thing I hate about the masks is they cause you to break out.
Yeah,
they do cause breakouts.
So I'm gonna say this: just because you got a mask on, don't mean that you ain't got to brush your teeth.
Oh yeah, that too. That's another thing. So, but you know what? But this is something I told somebody this. I said, they would say, "Oh, what is that smell?" I said, "It's probably your breath. You probably didn't brush your teeth."
Girl, I got that mask on. Then you take that mask off. I'm like, whoa, my eyes watering.
Oh, you bogus. They told me you bogus. I said, yeah, well, you said you smelling something. You got a mask on. So I'm just thinking maybe you didn't brush your teeth or something, and that's what you smelling.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, you is bogus.
Yeah, because listen, and the truth be told now, when you had that mask on all day, like for those that still going to work and you got to wear that mask at work, and your mouth closed the whole day.
You better put you some peppermints in that
mask off. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hold it. What Martin said, man, you need a Tic Tac.
Right.
He's like, it is
yeah, be sure there.
Yes. Yes. Like,
yeah. He like, okay.
That was on last night when he told that guy that. He said, nobody be grabbing me. Don't be grabbing me.
I love Martin.
Me too.
Yeah, because his mouth always got him in trouble every time.
But people, if you are suffering from any kind of depression, if you're grieving, please seek some kind of help. There are different health centers out there. There are online physicians online that can help you with what you're going through. If you don't feel comfortable with that, talk to a friend or talk to you. Sometime what I found helpful sometimes is talking to a total stranger because they don't know nothing about you. You don't know nothing about them. And sometimes and they're not going to judge you because they don't know you. So they can't judge you. So, sometimes we feel so uncomfortable sometimes talking to a loved one or a friend or something. So just sometimes you just have to reach out to somebody, but you got to talk to somebody to get yourself, to help you get through what you're going through and stuff. And like I said, I put the number up there. It's a helpline, 1-800-662-4357. and that they can help you if you are going through something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, but yes, guys, you had a very good day, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and friends. We truly enjoyed talking to you guys, and we hope that you guys enjoyed us today. I hope that someone took something from this conversation that we had today, and there are many more to come. And if you have something you would like to hear us talk about on the show, reach out to us. Our website, our what is it? Email address is on the bottom of the screen.
Like, what is it?
Yeah, sometimes that little brain, they should get stuck.
Yes,
Yep, and we wish you all a very good evening and peace in the Middle East.
Amen.
Yes.
All right, God
All
is
right.
good.
Yes, He
All
is
right.
all the time.
Amen.
Yes, he is.
Bless
Good
you guys, and
night.
thank you for
Yes.
tuning in. Good night,
Absolutely.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.